This video is brought to you by the gun control hating guys over at naturalhempoil.com. Just as guns benefit people, CBD oil is widely considered to have a vast array of benefits on a biological level. Check out naturalhempoil.com. The link's in the description. If you guys enjoy this video, subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up, and share it with everybody you know. Before I start this video, I have a question for you. Would you give your money to someone if you knew they were going to take your money, buy weapons and ammo, and go out and kill a bunch of innocent people? Would you? Oh wait, it's too late. You're already doing that. The US government uses taxpayer money to kill more innocent people than you can ever imagine, while a gaggle of non-critically thinking morons are begging that same government to save school kids. If government really cared about people, they wouldn't start and fund wars. Now, I'm becoming more and more convinced that the liberal brand of statism is a mental disability that is consuming the brains of those who have this disorder at an exponential rate. And before I get any further, I'd like to define a term that mainstream media and government talking heads keep throwing out and attaching to another particular term in order to demonize an object which is designed to foment national indignation and fear against it in the minds of the unthinking masses. The term is assault. You can use it as a noun or as a verb. As a verb, it means to make or initiate a physical attack on. Example, he pleaded guilty to assaulting a police officer. As a noun, it is a physical attack. His imprisonment for an assault on the film director. Assigning an inanimate object the moniker of assault rifle is a misnomer. In the case of usage by the media and the government, it's clearly designed to villainize a particular style of semi-automatic rifle, namely the AR-15. We all know this. Before I give you your daily dose of communist news network insanity, I'd like to remind you what little Brian Stelter said.
These conspiracy theories are a form of pollution. Just like fake news, these kinds of ideas, they poison the media environment.
Now for a few words of propagandized poison from Chris Cuomo.
The question has been as fundamental as it has been ignored. What can we do to stop the shootings? There was an intense focus on government early on. Maybe that was misplaced because we've seen more and stronger action from the private sector than we have from government. The latest is a big headline. Dick's Sporting Goods making a big announcement this morning in the wake of the Florida high school massacre. The retailer will stop selling assault-style rifles.
Now let's pay attention to this, because at no point in human history has there ever been such a thing as an assault-style rifle. Just like there's never been an assault-style knife or an assault-style fork or handguns or baseball bats. These are all inanimate objects. They don't move themselves and they don't hurt other people. I don't care how much they say it or want you to believe it.
When you get right down to it, the gun is what is going to do the killing.
Inanimate objects don't assault anything. People use those inanimate objects, and people choose to assault other people with those objects. But the objects themselves don't do the assaulting. I wish this was common sense, but apparently it's very uncommon. So Dick's Sporting Goods is going to stop selling assault-style weapons. I wonder how they're going to stop selling something that never existed. And if somehow they believe that such a thing does exist, I wonder if they're also going to stop selling the rifles that do the exact same thing as the black rifles, but just look different. Let's take a listen.
And will no longer sell high-capacity magazines. The company also says it will not sell any gun to anyone under the age of 21, regardless of what the local law is.
Now, did you hear that? They won't sell any gun to anyone under the age of 21. Now, I know they're a private company. They can do whatever they want with their own stuff. But just so we're clear on everything, if you're a 100-pound woman between the ages of 18 and 21, don't depend on Dick's to supply you with the tool that will give you the power to stand against a 250-pound assailant who intends to rape you and bash your skull into the pavement after he's done.
Joining us now is the chairman and CEO of Dick's Sporting Goods, Ed Stack. Sir, good to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
Now, I'm aware of this corporate policy from what we saw after Sandy Hook, but take us through why you believe this is the right thing to do.
Well, we think it's the right thing to do. You know, after Parkland, excuse me, we were so disturbed and saddened by what happened in Parkland that we said we need to do something. And we talked about what we needed to do, and we felt that we needed to make a statement that we will no longer sell assault-type rifles, high-capacity magazines, and a few other things. And
now, I could understand uninformed John Q. Public not getting this, but Ed Stack here should, and I believe does, understand the hypocrisy of what he's saying. For example, is Ed gonna stop selling the Ruger Mini 14? Here's the scary black AR-15 military assault style rifle and the Ruger Mini 14 ranch rifle. Both rifles are essentially the same. They both fire the same ammo, the Remington 223, and have damn near the same rate of fire. Both are also about the same size, and both can hold a 30-round magazine. The only difference is that the black rifle looks more menacing to people because of state-funded and media propaganda. If they chose to villainize the Ruger instead, people today would be looking at that one as the ominous assault rifle. The truth is that the black rifle poses no more threat than the wood rifle in the hands of a madman. And just to reiterate, neither gun poses a threat to anyone. It's the people that use these weapons that are a threat to society. So Ed, because we've established that both guns perform the same way, to be consistent with your virtuous sounding words, can we expect that you'll stop selling not only the scary AR-15s, but also the Ruger Mini 14 and every other semi-automatic rifle that fires just like the AR-15? If not, then you're a publicity-seeking, falsehood-speaking hypocrite, just like everybody else who spouts this ridiculous propaganda.
Our hearts went out to those kids and to their parents, and everybody talks about thoughts and prayers going out to them, and that's great. That doesn't really do anything, and we felt that we needed to take a stand and do this.
Great message if it were Senator Stack or Governor Stack. But you are responsible to shareholders, right, Stack. And how do you do this and not take a hit financially? What percentage of your sales are these weapons?
Well, the hunt business is an important part of our business, no doubt about it. And we know there's going to be some backlash. But as we sat and talked about it with our management team, and when we started talking about this with our management team, it was to a person that this is what we need to do. We need to take a stand on this.
So it's clear that Ed Stack surrounds himself with a bunch of fools. You mean to tell me that not one person in that board meeting had the mental fortitude or the balls to stand up and say, "Hey Ed, this is crazy. We sell sporting goods. What people do with the crap they buy from us is their business. It's not on us. What about all the other rifles that shoot exactly the same way as the AR-15, Ed? You gonna get rid of those too?" Ed, look, if the issue is really that you don't want people to be killed with the products we sell to the public, what about every freaking knife we offer? You gonna stop selling those too? Ed, come on, be honest with the statistics. There were over 1,600 people killed by knife in 2016, Ed, come on! And Ed, what about handguns? Look at our dang gun cases in every one of our stores. We offer hundreds and hundreds of semi-automatic handguns. People are 20 times more likely, Ed, to be killed with a handgun than with any rifle we sell. In 2016, over 7,100 people lost their lives because somebody decided to use it to kill a human being. Ed, come on, if you're gonna be ideologically consistent and not come off sounding like a placating hypocrite who's buying into the false narrative of the left, you better take all the handguns off the shelves while you're at it. Are you willing to do that, Ed? And we won't even talk about fires. 107 people died by fire in 2016. Are we gonna throw all of our lighters and matches into the trash can as well, Ed? Come on, Ed. You're either not thinking or somebody's using you as a retarded poster child for statist insanity. I'll tell you what, you do this, Ed, and you're nothing but a hypocrite. And that's what at least one critically thinking board member should have said. But according to Ed, nobody spoke up.
And those kids talk about enough is enough. And we had meaningful conversations about this with our team, and we concluded that if these kids are brave enough to organize and do what they're doing, then we should be brave enough to take the stand.
Okay, Ed, so what if what these kids are doing is not about bravery at all, but about stupidity? Logic and truth are the measures by which we should make any move. not the emotionally charged whim of supposedly traumatized kids who are begging their political masters to make laws for the rest of us. This Ed Stat guy is an absolute hypocrite. And this isn't my opinion, these are the facts. If it's lives that really matter to him, then using his own logic, he should get rid of every knife and every handgun that Dick's Sporting Goods offers. But he won't, because saving lives isn't what it's about. Showboating, placating to the masses, and virtue signaling is what it's about. They go on to talk about how this may affect Dick's financial bottom line, and then he says this.
But when you look at those kids and their parents and the grief that everyone's going through, and we don't want to be a part of this story any longer. We actually sold the shooter a shotgun in November of last year. And we looked at that and found out that we did this. We had a pit in our stomach. We don't want to be a part of this story, and we need a responsibility to these kids. And we decided we are not going to sell these any longer.
So it's true. The Parkland murderer bought a weapon at Dick's, not one of the ones that was used in the shooting.
Right.
But did that matter to you when you found that out?
It did, and it wasn't the gun that he used, and it wasn't the type of gun that he used. But
they had a pit in their stomachs about selling this guy a shotgun. But guess what? They're still selling those shotguns. This is pathetic. This type of gun garbage is nonsense. What does it matter if you were killed by a .223 or a 40 cal or a 45 or a 22 long rifle? Dead is dead. And the facts state that you're 20 times more likely to be killed by one of these handguns Dick's offers than a black rifle called an AR-15. Now Ed says this.
You know, I'm a supporter of the Second Amendment. I'm a gun owner myself. We have to do something about this. This is tragic what's going on, and we're taking a stand.
Every time you hear somebody say they're for the Second Amendment, but then they restrict access to firearms like Ed here is doing, barring 18 to 21-year-olds from exercising their Second Amendment rights, it's utter hypocrisy. Now, I want you to know that I'm for the Second Amendment, but I don't think people who are 18 years old who can get outfitted with an AR-15, a uniform, and combat boots and fly to another country and blow foreign families away, I don't think they should be able to buy a gun from Dick's Sporting Goods so they can defend themselves on American soil. What a freaking hypocrite.
So, you know what you're going to hear from other people who are gun advocates. They're going to say, no, you're doing something, you're making it worse. You're stopping my ability to get the weapon that I need, that I have the right to have, so it's my decision, not yours, and I can't defend myself against these bad guys, and you're limiting the bullets so they'll have these high-capacity magazines, and I won't. You're hurting me, you're not helping me.
Now, Cuomo makes a good devil's advocate argument here, but watch Ed completely deflect and not answer the question.
Well, you're going to hear that from some people. We've had so many gun owners also say, you know what, this is the right thing to do. You know, we don't feel that we really need to have these types of guns on the market. We don't feel that these high-capacity magazines should be on the market.
Yeah, Ed, that wasn't Cuomo's question. He's asking what you say to the guys who say that you're barring their ability to get a gun that they want to protect themselves. But he chose to deflect. Now pay close attention to this part.
We actually think that when this happens and there's a shooting like this, it actually hurts what's going on with responsible gun owners who are using them for target practice, shooting, you know, sporting clays and hunting. So,
did you see how he stuttered on the hunting part and did the nervous scratching of the nose? In the context of talking about the dangerous AR-15 assault rifle that must be banned to keep people safe, he actually admitted people use these weapons for target practice and hunting. Now this is a big deal, because what do they keep trying to drill into our heads about the AR-15 and hunting? Political parasites and media morons are constantly telling us, nobody needs an AR-15 to hunt. This is a weapon designed for killing, not for hunting. Here, let Senator Bill, constituent pleaser, I don't give a damn about the Second Amendment Nelson tell you.
But an AK-47 and an AR-15 is not for hunting, it's for killing.
I got a question for you, Bill, you spineless bozo. How the hell do you hunt without killing something? Man, I must be stupid. This whole time I thought the idea of hunting something was to kill it and put it in the freezer. I can't even believe the stupid crap that comes out of these hypocrites' mouths. And what's worse is that the people in the audience applaud, and it seems like nobody stops to say, wait a second, hunting is killing you, lame brain. I'm out of here.
What did legal tell you about your ability to not sell to anyone under 21, even if local law says 18?
They said, we've got the right to do this.
Of course you have the right to do this, Ed. If you don't want to sell to people, it's your business. You should be able to do whatever you want to with it. That a business owner has to consult legal counsel to get a definitive answer on this tells you the sorry state of our society today. If a black fast food restaurant owner didn't want to sell to me because I'm white, what am I going to do? Run to the government with my hurt feelings and make them sell me a hamburger? We've become a nation of pansy-ass wimps who hate the free market and love to shovel boatloads of money at lying lawyers and politicians so they can tell us what to do.
It's a bit confusing or not consistent, I should say, because an 18-year-old can buy some guns. They have to be 21 to buy other guns. And we think that's an inconsistency that should change. And we're making it, you're 21 to buy a gun at Dick's Sporting Goods.
Let me just reiterate and cut through the BS here. This is Dick's Sporting Goods policy to all you women out there ages 18 to 21. Oh, you want a personal defense weapon? Well, screw you and defend yourself. We ain't gonna help you. So you know what I say? Hey Academy, here's your golden opportunity to step up to the plate and take this Dick's business.
What do you say to the other big stores out there that sell sporting goods? Do you believe they should follow suit with Dick's?
I think they should do whatever they think is right. They should follow their conscience, and whatever they think that they should do, their management team, their board, that's what they should do. We're not trying to impart our decision on anyone else.
That was the only logical thing Ed Stack said in this entire interview. And Ed ends with this.
But this feels really good for us, and we're comfortable with our decision.
And that's what it boils down to, folks. Feelings. This feels really good for us. Screw logic and screw statistics. Screw the fact that kids are dying in government-initiated gun-free slaughter zones at the hands of maniacs strung out on government-approved pharmaceutical drugs. Dick's refuses to sell the AR-15 even though there's no difference in the performance of any one of their other semi-automatic rifles, which they're still selling, by the way. See, logic to this man and the many others like him reminds me of the geriatric patients on that Life Alert commercial. It's fallen and can't get up.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
If you guys got something positive out of this video, subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up, and share it with everybody you know. Before you go, check out one of the most in-your-face, hard-hitting, conversation-starting shirt stores on the planet. By wearing one of these shirts, hoodies, or cutoffs, and without saying a word, you can let people know that fast food is killing them with the McDats Eat Fast, Die Young shirt or Pepsi Live for Now. Inform the sleeping masses that fluoride is dumbing them down, that Google is a gulag-style censorship machine, that the Department of Homeland Security is merely security theater, that the NSA makes your private life their business, that the Grim Reaper supports everyone's troops, that we need to legalize freedom, that in life there are no excuses, that CNN is a communist news network, voting is the suggestion box of slaves, that 9/11 was a lie and that all official stories should be questioned, and let people know we're in the middle of a full-blown sheepvolution. Taxation is theft, the IRS is an immoral robbery service, cops like protecting and serving the crap out of you, and that this is not a gun-free zone, and gun-free zones are the most dangerous places on the planet. Your purchase supports more content on my demonetized, heavily censored, and of course, advertiser-unfriendly channel. As of the recording of this video, I have over 64 designs, and I'm adding new ones every week, so check back often. Thanks for watching my content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.